damn cold and waste the sun.
Well, David Winter's from South Africa, so you may well ask where the sun's gone. It's here somewhere, but then again, so's winter, and winter in Stockholm means snow and lots of ice. And that's exactly why we and 57 of Europe's best skaters are here in Sweden. They've taken that ice and used it to create a unique course to stage the world premiere of a brand new sport, downhill ice cross. It's fast, it's furious, and if you manage to run without kissing the ice at least once, then you're a very lucky man. But as US inliner Scott Peer explains, they've got some specialist tools for the job.
It's an inline skate boot and an inline skate frame, and then a special blade that's attached to it, which is similar to a hockey blade, except it doesn't have quite as much rounding on it. So a hockey blade would have a little bit more round to it. They're a little bit more like a speed skate, but not as flat as a speed skate either.
Seems a bit longer as well, eh? For this size skate.
A little bit longer than a standard hockey blade, yeah.
While the blades might not be standard, but then neither's the course. We've taken over a week to prepare this amazing track, a 250-metre snake that winds its way through the buildings of the old Munich brewery in south-central Stockholm. Strong sheets of plywood are screwed and bolted into place to provide the backbone for the jumps and banks before snow is trucked in and packed down tight. It's a brand new course for a brand new sport, and the night before the event, riders Zach Zackerson, Gabby Leinberger, David Winter and Scott Peer got together.
You have 3 starting slots, like when you start inside, but in the qualification rounds, you just skate on your own.
Yeah, that's
and then you get 2 qualification rounds, and the best time is the one that you go on. Okay. And it's the 36 people that goes to the consolation, finals.
Yeah. Okay, but it will be 3? No, it will be 4.
No, 3. 3.
Thomas not wide enough to put up 4.
Yeah.
There's only 3 starting gates at the top as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Much like a snowboarding starting gate that you got to push through the thing to get it open.
Yeah, horse skates.
Start the clock, yeah.
You open wide, so you come out of the horse gate, you go down and skate a few steps, then the first jump. Go over the jump.
Then it's the turn on the right, right?
Yeah, 90-degree right turn with a bang.
No, but after the first jump,
you got to hit those gates.
It's a little gate. There's one gate right on the jump, and after the jump, when you land, you got to turn.
You got to swing
right to right, and after that right turn, you got to go a little left and come in the bank like this, and then it's a 90-degree to right.
It's only 250 metres long, but these riders will need to know every last inch of it. A mad dash from the start gate, and they're out and over the first kicker. Through the bank to the outside of the first tight right-hander, then bang, straight into a vicious 90-degree left before their punishing sprint. Around an open right-hander over the last kicker and down to the line. No time to relax, as British hockey player and skier Simon Sharp explains.
Is it tough?
Yeah, it's really tough, especially the 3 bumps in behind. They're really tough, yes.
Everybody say that's the hardest part.
Yeah, it is, because if you push on the start, you get too fast into the wall, and after that you can't brake. And it's a real problem to skate this part there. So.
Is it fun?
It's real fun.
It's fun, all right, but there's no room for passengers. First, you've got to qualify. David Winter from South Africa, first up. No guts, no glory, he reckons. And as a hockey player and inline downhiller, he should have no shortage of either. Sure enough, through he goes, and it's an experience he'd love to take back home.
David! Looking good!
Enjoying it, man. It's great. I love this thing. I want to build me one of these at home.
At 42, inliner Scott Peer from the USA has a healthy respect for the ice and a wide streak of self-preservation. He's going to be happy just to get down in one piece, but as he finds out, it's a harsh ride to get there.
Pretty rough. The skates bounce around a lot, so deceptive. You're actually going that fast with your skates bouncing. Hard to keep traction and keep balance.
Sweden's Zach Zachrison is the big local hero. He's a hockey player, snowboarder, and he's got more confidence than most. He qualifies, but can he explain what it felt like? Apparently not. Actions speak louder than words there for Zach, but this course is proving tougher than anyone expected, and not everyone's had the luck or the skill to stay upright.
I know there are a lot of fast guys here.
A lot of fast guys maybe, but after a full day's punishment and qualifying, will they be as fast to get out of bed in the morning? We shadowed Scott Peer and David Winter back to their hotel to find out.
Good morning, guys. Wakey, wakey.
Yeah. Check that out.
Breakfast time.
Yeah. The good part of the day.
Yeah, it's going to be a big day. I think interesting day. Just to see who's going to do what on the course. Alright,
There you go.
got to see the skill going on, yeah.
What do you think about the track, Scott?
Yeah, it's pretty bumpy. Yeah, so definitely a factor. So I had a couple crashes on that finish bump actually yesterday. So I tried my speed skates and it was too steep. All right, so my tips dug in. Bam, went down twice. So I decided my speed skates won't work.
I didn't kick it over yet. Suicide, bro.
Well, Scott wasn't the only one to crash yesterday. Those that were thinking ahead packed plenty of padding and body armour for the trip. But back in the dressing room, that padding is proving a bankable commodity.
You don't hear the guy that fell down saying, "Oh, I had too many pads on. Didn't hurt."
Pads in place and ready indeed. It's the morning of the race and time now to sharpen those blades, pull on the helmets and calm those nerves. The course gets one more dose of Stockholm's best tap water, which, with a temperature well into the sub-zeros, will freeze in minutes. We asked Jasper Gustafsson for some tips on a winner. I think the course where it is less steep will favour the ice hockey players. That's as long as we don't fall, that is.
Har du gjort det?
We are going to have a lot of fun today, right?
Well, they'll have fun, but we might have even more watching the action. It's about to start now as the first round gets underway. The lucky first three here are Finnish skating champion Jari Asp, that's local hero Jasper Felder, and on the outside extreme skater Dick Auer of Germany. Jasper Felder gets away cleanly and first, but as they climb the bank of the first right-hander, it's poor old Dirk Auer who loses it. From then on, he was just along for the ride. Felder showing now how the fittest of the hockey players can make the most of that flat run into the finish. He cruises in. Jari Asp comes home in second, and the unfortunate German's nowhere to be seen. Round two, and it's Andreas Salomonsson of Holland in the grey against the Swedes Daniel Carlson in red and Daniel Salo in yellow. Carlson gets the whole shot, but they're tight as you like, right up to the first kicker, and just after the first gate, Salo's down, slants backwards into the banking and gets a bit out of shape. He's back on his feet, but the others are off and away. Look at the way the Dutchman powers past Carlson here. He's a hockey player and one of the strongest guys here. Takes a dive over the finish, but the race is won. Salomonson's through to the semis.
It's the first time for everybody, I think, to go down, so I'm glad that I'm a Dutch guy and I made the 7th place or 8th, I don't know.
Heat 3, and in yellow we've got the hugely experienced Italian inliner Franco Pavarazzo. In the middle in grey it's the UK's very own Jonathan Phillips, who's strictly ice hockey, and in red it's the lone South African David Winter. And the little Italian's out of those gates like a rat up a drain. But has he got the courage to take on these big hockey players? They're over the poor little guy like a rash, and yes, Winter goes through. But it's short-lived. He's down on the left-hander, and Jonathan Phillips once again shuts down the Italian. And Phillips cruises home to a confident win. Poor old Franco looking a bit rattled there. Anyway, Heat 4, and it's another veteran. That's Scott Peer from the US in yellow against Zach Zackerson from Sweden in grey, and British hockey player Merv Priest in red. Zach takes charge right from the start. It's a trouble-free run for them all, but Scott Pear's looking far from happy there. Zach and Merv Priest are running a race all of their own. Scott's advanced sense of self-preservation's kicking in. He's out of harm's way, but he's out of the running too. Zackerson takes an easy trip through to the semis. While the local stars proved his point, but David Winter and Scott Peer are both heading home early.
Okay, guys, you did very good on the track, but now you're out. It's finished.
Yeah. Unfortunately, so I would have liked to have done better. It was fun while it lasted, but you know, there's some hot skaters here, national level skaters.
I'm a little bit bummed about it because I know that I could have done better because yeah.
You're disappointed?
I am a little disappointed, but it was still very nice to be here and qualify for the event and just have a good time with all the people.
Would you like to come back?
I would absolutely like to come back, definitely.
Is this a Swedish moose?
No, it's a reindeer.
I'll show you a big moose.
Well, it's a long way home to South Africa and the States, and if you're in Sweden, you might as well see at least one moose. Scott and David enlisted Zach's help. Seems he's a bit of a moose expert.
You've never walked on ice?
I've never walked on ice, but I don't think I'm starting now.
Skit så gick det.
Is this a Swedish moose?
Har ni eld?
Up here.
Här är älgen! Åh jävlar, den vet inte upp. Tjena! Tjena!
Feels like a horse.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was so big.
Hey.
You know,
Bad breath. You gotta visit the dentist.
Dave's gonna go back! You know, Dave's gonna go back to his country now. Don't you worry. He might be back one day. Dave's gonna go back to Southern Africa.
The rest of Sweden, nothing to do this.
Straight back with the first of the semis of the downhill ice cross from Sweden. And it's Sweden's Daniel Carlson in yellow, Jasper Felder, the American ice hockey player, now resident in Sweden in yellow, and Britain's Jonathan Phillips in red. A good start's invaluable on this tight course, and it's Jasper Felder who's got it. Checks over his shoulder, Phillips is right there, but Carlson's down. It's just these two, and Phillips is pressing Felder all the way. These hockey players definitely have the strength advantage, but Felder's held the Englishman off. Held them all the way. That was the closest heat so far. Fantastic stuff there from Felder and Phillips. Felder got the start, but Phillips never let him get that far away. And one slip and Carlson was history. On to semi-final 2, and we've got André Salomonsen of Holland up against two Swedes. The big guy in the middle there, that's Zach Zackerson, and in yellow, Christer Linde. Zach wants the big start, but he hasn't got it. A slight stumble there, and Linde's through. Zach's got a lot of work to do now. He's looking a bit lost there. Linde's ahead, and he's determined to stay there, right through to the finish. Only the winner of these semis goes through to the super final, so Zackerson's out, and Linde's going to be through. Zach stumbled right after the gate, and there again, just before the kicker, he was almost down again. The race was Linde's from then on in. So this is semi-final number 3, the last chance for a place in the super final. And it's an all Swedish heat. Stefan Rimmer there in the middle, Rickard Verne on the right in red, and Stefan Bolin in yellow on the left. They were pretty much neck and neck down to the kicker, but Bolin's been squeezed out at the gate and Stefan Rimmer's pulling away. All three of these guys are hockey players, and it's an even-looking match. Another stumble through the gate there, and Bolin's blown any chance he had. Rimmer cruises home for a place in the final. Rickard Verne goes through to the face-off for the runners-up from the semis. And that's just what we're about to see. Zackerson there, not the race he wanted to be in, but he's going to try his best to go home with 4th overall. John Phillips from the UK is the last non-Swedish runner left, and on the outside in yellow it's Rickard Verne. Zach gets the start, but Rickard Verne's down hard on that first jump. He's not going to get back from that. Jonathan's going to press Zach hard. He's got the strength, but he'll need it on that finishing straight. But no, Phillips is down there, and Zach's home and dry. He celebrates an easy 4th place with a bit of a nosedive over the finish jump. Not what he'd hoped for, but not bad all the same.
I think I did all right, but it's because the only race I had to win, I didn't do a good race and I lost. So that's why I'm disappointed. But other than that, I'm very happy with the 4th place. You know, I tried to do as good as I could, and you know.
Well, he did pretty well. All the hockey players here seem to reckon this is one of the toughest events they've ever tried. So 4th is no mean feat. Super final next. But before we get to that super final, it's over to mountain bike trials pro Peter Kraus, who, with spikes in his tyres and a big pile of confidence, proves that there's more you can do with ice, and a few spare ice hockey players. it is. We're down to the last 3. They've swept it down, but essentially this course remains the same. Each of these riders will have been down this track more times now than they care to remember. So no one's going to get lost, but we've got enough tension here tonight to start a thaw. Those guys are not having an easy time.
Hey, Forza Austria! Yeah!
Jag går för att vinna, det är lika bra.
So it's an all-Swedish final. Jasper Felder in the middle, Stefan Rimmer on the right, and Christer Linder on the left. Felder gets the best of the start. A bit of jostling there between the other two, but Linder's managed to hold Rimmer off. Felder's a big guy, and he's even bigger if you're trying to get past him, but no one's getting the chance. Felder's going to cruise through to a win. And no one's happier than this US-born hockey player right now. He had this race nailed right from the start. Felder waits until the finish straight, then powers away. Pulls out a lead that Linder and Rimmer could do absolutely nothing about. A bit of a slip on the last bend there for Linder, but he was safe in second.
Jasper Felder, you won the competition. How do you feel?
Feeling great right now. I mean, it feels kind of unreal too.
You're smoking, man.
Yeah, but I feel super. And it's kind of feels kind of strange, you know, to win the kind of amount of money. And but like I said in the beginning, I was concentrated on it, and I had a mission, so I was focused on it. And I mean, I felt great all day, and everything felt fine. You know, the muscles, the skates, everything. So I just went for it. So.
Well, he went for it and he got it. Jasper Felder wins, and his girlfriend was there to see it.
Yeah, he's your champion and my champion. He's mostly mine.
So Jasper Felder takes the win and a big check for $5,000. Rimmer gets $3,000 for second, and Linder takes home a tidy $2,000 for third. A good night's work in anyone's language. Downhill ice cross. We've seen the birth of a new sport here tonight, and we'll see a lot more of it in the years to come.